Hi, Starseeds, and welcome to your weekly message and energy. I'm recording this the third week of February 2020, and what we're going to focus on this week, the messages for you guys, is this Mercury retrograde transit that we are just now entering as of February 16th. So Mercury has gone retrograde in Pisces and is going to move back into Aquarius around March 4th. And then Mercury will go direct on March 9th and then move back into Pisces on March 16th. And then I believe it's the first week of April, Mercury finally moves on into Aries. So starting from February 16th to the first week of April, there's going to be a lot of changes going on inside of you because this is a powerful retrograde. It's wrapping up, tying up all the loose ends, all your unfinished business before we start the zodiac new year, before the sun moves into Aries. The sun, as I'm recording this, is about to move into Pisces, and then we'll have a Pisces new moon. So between now and this first week of April, it is definitely a time to really do a self-evaluation and, what belief systems need to change, what new ideas need to come into your reality, what emotional wounds need to be faced, addressed, and healed. What do you aspire to? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to become? What is, the trajectory of your path that you're trying to manifest for yourself? Because even though you're here to hold a higher vibration, for all of humanity, and for humanity to make a different conscious choice and activate and awaken and turn on and join that higher energy, that you guys naturally bring. Even though you're here for that, you're also a soul. You also have personal growth that you experience through everything that you do. And this retrograde is going to bring back, stuff that you're working on in the earth plane that pertains to you personally, as well as this retrograde activating parts within you, within your soul that has to do with, past lifetime energy, that it's like the time is now for that to activate your development, all you've achieved thus far spiritually, like you're finally at that level vibrationally to activate some higher frequencies. So these aren't like new light codes coming in. These are codes that already exist within you. All right, so let's pull a card here and start the reading off, the main energy of this Mercury retrograde. And I know some of you guys have been asking for me to do videos about each of your collectives, like Sirian, Palladian, Andromedan, all of that. I am working to get there. It's just it's a different reading than this, so I don't want to sell you guys short. So I'm still working and familiarizing myself with all these new energies, because even though I've been quite aware of all of this starseed stuff for a long time, to actually start tapping into each collective is a new thing for me. And so it's new energy, it's new language, so to speak, with each collective, okay? And, when I'm doing these readings, I'm connecting to my spirit guides, which have easy access to your collectives, okay? So I am working on it. Those will be coming, but not till I feel totally ready to do that and bring you a good reading. All right, so let's see this Mercury retrograde transit through Aquarius and Pisces. The main energy. There you go. Light codes. Travel awaits you. This here, the light codes, these are the light codes that already exist inside of you, that you bring with you from past lifetime, accomplishment, achievement, experience, growth, all of it. It's inside of you. And this transit is big time about activating those parts of yourself that, like, totally new concepts and ideas are going to fill your conscious mind. And I'll tell you, for me personally, that's been happening. I've shared that with you guys in the last few videos. Finally, I'm getting back to that even out, where I'm not so overwhelmed by the negativity. And you guys, same thing. these activations inside of you help to balance out that negative energy, everything that you see on the earth plane that is destructive and sad and just like shouldn't exist, right? That the light energy, the love, the hope, you know, that's really being activated within you to renew you, to give you that hope, that optimism, to feel confident and secure in why you're here and what you're doing for the collective at large, but also for yourself, you know. Even though you guys hold these higher frequencies of energy, it's like the master, to continue to evolve and to grow, has to experience master lessons, right? Anything less than that will bring nothing. And so your own personal journey in the earth plane that pertains specifically to your soul, you know, you have faced a lot of master level challenges and struggles, and that's because of the level of being that you are. And, you know, you're becoming quite aware of that. It's almost as though like walking in the dark and now the light has gone on. And, you know, you guys are so evolved and wise and advanced and empathic and so spiritually gifted. Like, it amazes me, some of the energies I feel in doing these readings for you guys. It's almost like, do they even really need me to say anything, you know? Just because of the way I feel when I am, you know, just with you guys in this space for the readings. And now it's like the light's turning on, where the darkness, the negative doesn't feel so heavy and so big. Like you feel the support coming in for you, like hope, optimism, things will be okay. I do make a difference, you know. This is deep, deep stuff. The light codes, Mercury retrograde, this whole transit, these are light codes that are being activated within you. And these light codes, depending on your different collectives, are different within each and every one of you. And as these light codes activate inside of you, you know, the way they impact you, the way they enhance you, the new perceptions and vantage points of perceiving and experiencing, all of it's going to be unique to each and every one of you, truly. And so it's hard to like speak on specifics in that area. But I mean, as it's happening, you know, travel awaits you. Dream time, astral travel, deep meditation. You know, some of you can be in that deep meditation, fully conscious and aware, and detach and go about your business, you know, in the spiritual and the astral plane. Some of you with this travel awaits, this might be what some of this light code activation is about, where you are now going to become consciously aware of the astral travel that you do every single night while you sleep, and you know, the direct connection that you truly have to your collective. So let's pull some cards to see the supportive energy, what's happening, what, you know, what these light codes are for some of you. All right, you know, when I did my personal reading, I got this, and I do a personal reading just to prepare me for the reading that I'm going to do for you guys. Longing for home, homesick for the stars. And this message for you guys, you know it right in your soul, just seeing that, just reading that. Yes, you're like, oh, I am heard. Spirit hears me. My collective hears me. I feel very alone. And when I pulled this card for myself, to me, this is my desire to better connect into your collective so that I can bring you more specific messages for each of your missions, you know. So this card holds different meanings for both of us, but it's very synchronistic for me that it came out for me and for you guys. Big activations taking place, and with that, many of you are going to be able to tap into your collective much easier, become more consciously aware of them. All right, and next out is weight of the world. Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. And that's that flipping on of the light, where the negativity, the darkness, the shadow, all that's wrong, it doesn't feel so heavy anymore, like it's hopeless. And I totally get it, sometimes you just have to be exposed to truths of the world for, in the light and in the dark. And, sometimes when you have to be exposed to the truths of the darkness, the shadow energy, the lower vibrations, it's a little bit too much when you vibe up here. It's like unthinkable, some of the things that take place for you because of where your consciousness is at. And this here, that light's turning on, you're being washed clean. You've been on a journey, you've been learning, you've been observing, you've been growing, you've been expanding. And now through this retrograde transit, all the pieces are going to connect and fit together. And man, much clearer connection to your collectives. So let's pull a couple of cards here to see, whoa, okay. Twin flame journey coming out for some of you. Triggers. Paving the way. Cosmic timing. And the empath. These are things that you are growing into as these light codes that you were, you came onto this planet with within your soul begin to activate through this retrograde transit. These are all the lessons that you are overcoming. How do I explain this? Because it's lessons, but that's not the exact appropriate term for this. Triggers, the things that really get you, the darkness, the shadow, the reason why for some of you it's been so in your face, so unbearable, is because you've been growing spiritually and better connecting with the emotional body, being in the human form, okay? Because mastering the emotional body is a challenge for anybody. No matter how evolved you are, when you come into the human form, you lose a lot of access to much of your higher self, your higher knowing, and you're pretty much blind, right? You're behind the veil, so you don't have access to everything that you would say in your on your home world, okay? It's a whole different experience. And so why a lot of this has just been up in your face, it's not like for you to be like, all right, I'm going to start a movement, I'm going to do a march. It's been to help you better get control of the emotional body and learn how to utilize it in different ways, and the different frequencies of vibration with each different emotion, and the way that you can use your emotional body to create a symphony of energy that empowers you and uplifts you as well as others, okay? The song of your soul. And to get to that point, to hear your own voice, sometimes you really have to be like your buttons pushed, because each time like you're making a decision, some of us will make the same decision over and over and then be like, okay, I need to make a different decision. And some of us, have been trying different ways and trying to handle things differently, and it's like, nothing's working, I'm spinning my wheels, I feel lonely, like, I don't want to be here, this is too much, this is too crazy. This here is really only been to show you how incredibly powerful and strong you are. And in all these things, to understand the human condition, not just from a spiritual perspective, but from a very human, physical, I live it, I experience perspective, because that's the only way you can truly facilitate change, is if you live it, you experience it, you know it as your own path, your own story. If I wasn't tapped into any of these energies, this wasn't a part of me in any way, trying to do a reading like this for you, could you imagine what would come out? So this right here has only been to, grow you, to allow you to have more control over your emotional body as well as your mental body, and not let the weight of the world crush you. Realize that you are bigger and more powerful than any dark energy or force that tries to come up against you. But if you feel disempowered and you're you know, out of balance due to a lot of emotional triggers, and then you start over analyzing and everything starts feeling really, really big, you know, then you fall off your path. And this, you know, all of that has truly been to really grow you and make you much stronger in your human form and feel more empowered and realize, like, just by you vibing in a higher space, how much that just changes the energy of all those around you, you know, and everything takes time. Sometimes there's magical epiphanies and somebody's like, oh my gosh, I see the light. But usually it's a process, right? And then over here, paving the way. You guys are definitely the renegades, the forefronters, bringing in this new energy, this new way of thinking, this new way of handling things, where it's like you don't fight fire with fire. Everybody gets burned. You fight fire with water. Water is emotional energy. And, you know, that doesn't mean that you give unconditional love to these really negative forces and people. It just means that you have a tolerance, you know, for that. You point out the right and the wrong of things. You stand very strong and true in your light and your power and your knowing and your wisdom, you know, and offer that for others. Because if you try to push against, fight fire with fire, you know, that creates war. You don't want war. You want peace. You want harmony. And, you know, the more that you vibrate up here and the more each and every person on this planet starts elevating in vibration, consciousness expansion, spiritual awakenings, you know, all these negative things, these really ugly things that happen in our world will become less and less. Will they ever be completely washed out? I personally don't think so. This is the world of duality, okay? The light, the dark, the spiritual, and the matter in one. And so I feel, you know, as we move through our cycles of time, that, you know, more and more humans go to this higher level of being, of experiencing each other. It's very wise, it's very mature. And as that becomes the majority of the collective, a lot of these negative things that happen and take place in our world start to become non-existent. Okay, again, it doesn't completely wash everything out, but the more that each and every person chooses to love and to speak truth and stand strong in that truth of right and wrong and be morally driven, you know, it creates a better world, because we do need to be compassionate and empathic towards each other and have tolerance. You know, those people who, you know, commit crimes and do horrible atrocities against other people, it's, you know, it's been in their life somehow, some way, whether through physical interaction. You know, a lot of TV and shows and video games can, and I'm not saying any of that's bad, but for some people that can really shape their mind and impact them in a negative way if that's their babysitter, that's their teacher for most of their childhood, right? It's like that's what's shaping their mind, is what's in the shows and in the video games, what they're spending most of their time on, opposed to an actual parent, you know, being that guiding force of the mental body. And so I feel there's a strong parental force, then TV and video games is fine in moderation, you know, but there are children out there that don't have any sort of supervision. So for me, it's like it's either personally happened to them in some capacity, or it's been indoctrinated in their minds, you know, from a very young age, from just different sources and just different negative things stuck in their subconscious mind. And so that's what I mean by tolerance. It doesn't mean that somebody shouldn't be punished, you know, go to jail, or, you know, that's like the current punishment right now, at least in the United States, is, you know, you go and serve jail. I feel like that's pretty, it's that way pretty much across the world. But at this time, you know, you screw up, you go to jail. I do feel that there does need to be an understanding, not like an acceptance and what you did is okay, but more of like a look at, how do people get to this point? Like, how did humanity get to this point? Like, what is all of this? And again, instead of pushing against it and trying to tear it down, that only draws more energy to it. It's being aware, it's observing everything, and then making the personal choice to rise higher consciously and act from that space. And as you do that, what you came here to do and to be, more people join that energy with you, and it's like the collective elevates. Oh, it's beautiful to me, okay? You guys are the path makers here of this energy, of this higher way of experiencing, being, doing, and it doesn't come from attacking and judging and telling people that what they're doing is wrong. It's you walking in your light, you just being who you are, speaking your truth from your soul, and not trying to prove yourself to anybody or get them to come to your side. You're like, no, this is who I am. This is the energy. This is what I believe in. And because of these things, this is how my life goes. And, you know, some people will be inspired and become activated and join you on that journey. And other people, they're not ready for that truth. They're not ready to awaken yet. So they resist it and push against it. And that's okay. You know, you don't need to judge them, condemn them, point out that they're horrible and wrong because they're not where you're at yet consciously. It's just you holding the space and the purest light and vibration you are capable of at this time. And the journey that you've already been on has prepared you and made you so emotionally strong. You are definitely a force to be reckoned with, that is for sure. Cosmic timing, all things in the right time, and that's right next to this twin flame and the empath. So many of you, not all of you obviously, but many of you, not only are you feeling that like absence, that loneliness, that disconnection from your collective, you're feeling very alone here on the planet at this time. And it could just be that you wish to have a spiritual companion in a friend or fellow starseed, somebody who just understands you, that you could talk to face, because, you know, there's forums on the internet. I'm doing a reading, you know, we can all come together, but that you know, it satisfies to some degree, but we all want, you know, connection and closeness being in the human form. And so this is that deep desire. And so some of you, this comes through like friendship, spiritual companion, fellow starseed, and others of you, this comes through a romantic connection and attachment. However, for starseeds, this true, because the twin flame journey is more of a humanized thing for me, just my perception of what the twin flame journey is. So for this, to me, when I think of you guys, this is more of that blue flame love, where it's a very high level, high vibration of love, respect, honor, and connection, where you're not being put through hell and back with one person just because you are romantically attached to them. You know, it's not like that. The soul growth and evolution that comes from this, to me, is more of a human experience. And because again, for me, your guys' energy is just already of a higher frequency. Like your collective is far more advanced and involved than the human race, okay? And so this twin flame journey, my personal perception of it, which is not the widely known version of it, is more of a human journey of two souls in a contract for the, you know, the full cycle through all the ages, okay? And it's a soul contract where every lifetime experienced on the earth plane, we're going to meet up, we're going to teach each other lessons, and it's really going to grow and evolve us. And it's like having the special insight, the special key to each other's soul. And it's the greatest teacher, but also the greatest form of love that will be experienced. Now, with starseeds, to me, you guys are already evolved beyond this twin flame drama and journey, okay? It's a very wise, mature love. And so your team here is acknowledging that that energy is meant for you in this earth experience, to have that soul connected, understanding, very mutual love that is beyond a romantic tie. It's spiritually based, okay? It's not to say emotions aren't involved, but the connection, the emotion, the respect is at the soul. It's not like I need to possess, I need to control, I need to own. It's not like that at all. It's very honoring and respectful. It's a mutual desire of happiness. And, you know, even if you have a long history, if one or both of you is not feeling happy, well, what do we do about that? You know, do we need to refocus on our relationship, or has our journey come to an end? It's that just mature, wise view and approach to your, you know, romantic connection and tie on this planet. It's just, it's not riddled with a lot of heartache and drama and soul and life lessons. You already have that. This is for that support, that true love and support, where you can be vulnerable and be your true self, and they get you and they understand you because they're vibing on the same wavelength as you are. So whether this is experienced romantically or through like a friendship connection, a soul companion, it's coming in for you guys. It's a big message of just feeling lonely and quite disconnected. But remember, you're emerging from the waters. The light is turning on. The weight is getting lifted off of your shoulders. And now with the empath, that's part of these light codes in you. If you didn't already experience everybody's emotions within 10 miles of you, now you're going to move to like the next state over, okay? Some of you with these light codes, you're really like that empathic ability and that way that you sense, and it's almost like you could be somebody else. You feel their emotions so strong. You understand their thoughts, their emotions, their energy, all of that. It's like some of you, that's the activation. And then others of you with this twin flame, which to me is blue flame for you guys. There's no blue flame card in this deck. The empath, like that's that connection where you guys meet in that soul to soul space. It's such a different experience than the twin flame journey. It truly is. And you know, in this energy, this person would either be like from your collective, a fellow starseed, or a very advanced, wise, evolved, like human soul. This is not somebody who's awake and you need to awaken them. No, you guys are on that like same wavelength, that same frequency, and coming together, you're even more empowered than you were before. And that might be for some of you the light going on where you no longer feel so alone. And again, this could be through a friendship or this could be through a romantic connection. It will truly manifest differently for each of you. And I feel like that message kind of keeps coming through about you guys being able to connect to other starseeds or other highly advanced souls so that you don't feel so alone and like you stick out like a sore thumb, you know? I get it. I get it. Sometimes I definitely feel that way. Okay, let's pull some tarot. So the Four of Lessons, Eight of Intuition, Seven of Intuition, Two of Activations, and the Upgrade. Look at that. Yeah, we see that coming with this Mercury Retrograde transit in Pisces. Just, it's intense, it's powerful, and Upgrade right there. And look at what would be next, the Eternals, which is a very similar meaning to, you know, the twin flame or a blue flame connection. So that would be the very next card. I'll go ahead and pull that out. Now, this lineup, you guys, the dreams here, the astral plane coming in strong with the Four of Lessons, and your collective, communicating with you in that space when you're in deep meditation. But there's also this activation that's going to start taking place within you where you are more aware of their existence, and even though right now you tell yourself and when it goes up to that next level, it could be a little weird, and you got upgrade, and so it's like you are going to the next level. An aid of intuition, this is where it's like it's time to walk away from things, and like there may have been a lot of emotional confusion because we have this triggers here around certain people that maybe you viewed as like a twin flame or a soul tribe member, and it's just like things didn't work out very well, and there was a lot of pain, and your team is coming in to say, you need to walk away from that. You had to walk away from that because with the Seven of Intuition, this is where what you're reaching for is truly poison, but you don't realize it, okay? And so what has walked away from you, what didn't work out in this physical experience, is because it truly wasn't meant to be like a long-term thing in your experience on this planet. It was really to help grow you and get you more in tune and in touch with that emotional body, to lead you to this point of now where you're going to be activated through this Mercury retrograde transit, and you're going to start seeing certain things you were reaching for or certain beliefs that you had were actually poison for you, because here's the activation, the two of activation, light codes and activation. We've been talking about that through this whole reading, and here's just the confirmation of that. And through this activation, you change and you're receiving an upgrade as this is taking place. So yeah, who you are, what you are, the way you see, the way you feel, all of that's starting to get shifted and changed around between now and that first week of April. And things that have hurt you emotionally in your experience, healing is coming in also with this. But man, your dreams are so significant and important. And I know I did a message a few readings back for you guys about that, and it's coming out again to really pay attention to your dreams. Maybe buy some books, look into dreams, astral travel. I don't even know if there's such a book of better connecting to your like starseed family. I really don't know if there is, but do some research, dig deep, because there's some sort of message that's really trying to come in for you guys. And I'm seeing it again here in this card. And so open yourself to receive that, and it's also about what we must leave behind, because it's truly poisonous for us. In the space though, with the 4 lessons, there is a deep healing that happens, and I see that healing needs to happen, with all those triggers. It's that light that's being turned on that we talked about earlier, and the weight of the world being lifted off of you, because you feel that support, that love coming in from your collective, but also, in physical reality, there is support. It's somebody who is very in alignment with you, on the same frequency of you, coming into your life, that is going to give you that physical support that you need, while you're also being better connected to your collective spiritually, receiving a lot of information. And, you are paving the way. You are here to bring forth new ideas, to hold very unique and specific frequencies of light. All right, each and every one of you, even if you're attached to the same collective, you all have your own little mission here and your own unique light codes that you just naturally embody. And now, big activation and upgrade in that space of you through this Mercury retrograde transit. And a lot of emotional loose ends and baggage is now going to be completed and like tied up. You're receiving your closure that you need, and it's like being washed clean, because you're starting on a new foot forward, okay? As the sun moves into Aries, the start of the new zodiac year, you are filled with optimism, with ideas, full of light, fully activated, and you are truly paving the way, giving the choice to others, bringing, life to the desert. That's really beautiful, and things not feeling like they weigh on you so much as maybe they have been feeling. All right, let's pull some advice. About the light codes, we got Starseed. Imagine that. Raise the vibration of the planet through your radiant, loving light. That cannot be a more beautiful, more perfect message after everything that's come through. Right there, confirmation. And now let's pull one about the Eternals and the stars, or the twin flames. And we have strength, and it says, you are being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. That is so beautiful. See, there you go. That the spiritual soul companionship that you so desire and so desperately need, not just from your collective, but also in another human form here with you on this planet, is coming in. All right, believe a positive outcome is assured. You're cleaning up some emotional baggage that's no longer part of your journey. You're being activated, upgraded. This is a good and powerful time for you guys. So those are your messages. I'm wishing you guys all the best. Take care.